was rushed. I totally lost track of time. Anyway,
I'm gonna take some blame for that.
No, you can't take any blame. All right, let's see. What do we need? We need this.
The need for feed.
Are we here? I think we're here.
Neat.
Okay. So, someone recap what happened, because I remember some of it.
Well, I mean, do we want to go in chronological order of what happened in the show, which I do have notes based on, or do we just want to get to the meaty part and expand?
Chronological. That seems neater.
So
the first thing we see is her waking up from last week's episode.
Oh, right. Okay, this is the one with the Office theme, even though it felt more like Modern Family than The Office.
Yeah, it was just the theme was The Office. Other than that, it was like a Modern Family episode.
Kind of weird.
And that theme really threw me off because it was like just like a couple notes off, and I kept waiting for it to like do the Office thing, but it never quite did. It started there. It started with the kids playing. I really enjoyed the kids playing video games and the controllers changing, going to the GameCube to the Atari to just Uno cards.
What bothered me was that the GameCube was further in time because it was wireless, and I know the Atari one was too, but that just for some reason really bothered me.
I thought that was weird too. It went from a Wiimote to the GameCube, but it was a wireless GameCube. Yeah.
I was like, the wireless GameCube controllers were much bigger, but that's if they were going back. We could just say they were going forward. That's fine, you know.
Yeah, they didn't want to have to go dig a Mad Catz out of a garbage bin and plop it in the kid's hand.
Yeah.
Everybody had that one Mad Catz controller. It worked for the most part. It got
you turn on turbo.
Yeah, it did always have the turbo function.
So no, that happened. And then outside of the Hex, sword people and everyone's learning that, you know, clearly. What did we name him last time with Hayward? Didn't we give him a name?
I think we called him Tim, but his name is
like
Todd
Tim
or something like that.
Yeah.
I think we called him Todd Howard.
Todd, that's right. It's Todd Howard.
Todd was clearly after Vision with Project Cataracts.
Yeah, I enjoyed that was Project Cataracts.
Vision broke.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to build Vision back to be his sentient weapon, but Vision wasn't really that. So he must have been trying to use him for something else, I guess. But yeah, they're clearly, I don't know, that wasn't any necessarily, like, it wasn't information that they didn't already imply in the last episode.
No, it just confirmed that we know that he was using Vision for some sort of AI.
The only thing I could think of is like maybe he realizes, oh, the Mind Stone's gone, so maybe I can just put something else in place to that, you know, some piece of sword technology to make him, you know, my own personal superhero for sword.
Right.
So sword is like a bunch of 3-year-olds trying to fit a thing into a shaped hole and just hoping for the best. Like, what if he put a Skittle in there? No,
they found the yellow M&Ms Jolly Rancher.
And again, I just don't know.
You got to lick the Jolly Rancher first to get it to stick.
Yep.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll just rattle around in there.
So I just want to talk because I'm not going to be able to get this out of my brain. But the rover thing was the dumbest idea I have ever seen. I don't know what their thought process was. If the aerospace engineer was like, "Hey, try this," that ain't Reed Richards, because that's not a smart Reed Richards.
No.
Because I'm going to go get my Jeep Renegade. It's real tough. It can get through that. No, it can't. It's going to change like everything else.
Well, also, like, we've already had the discovery that like things from the time period can go in unaltered.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of picking literally the newest piece of technology you can find, like, you could just find a Jeep from like 2005 and probably get through better because the drone made it in just fine.
But this thing's airtight.
I mean, I guess she wanted some extra layer of protection against
also, I think
getting her cells rearranged again, but
he also went at it ramming speed. Like,
just
yeah.
Ease it in.
Yeah.
I feel like using an old truck would have worked before the new barrier, but after the new barrier, just driving something through it clearly was.
Unless I'm missing something, and like, you know, what I'm thinking wouldn't have worked, but clearly that didn't. And also, you know, if you're really worried about getting your DNA rearranged again and you want extra layers of protection, like, go find an old spacesuit. Like, we know things can go in there and won't get altered or rejected if they're just from the appropriate time period.
Yeah, that whole thing really weirded me out. And then and I liked her going through, and then of course she got her powers. I liked all that. All that was fine. It was just the rover thing and her being like, "Oh no, the rover's touching this magic lava. I got to get out of here." Now I'm going right back in. It was just really weird.
I just really appreciated that as they were rolling it out, I thought it was going to be a lot bigger. And then it just like cut off right at the end. And it's like, here you go. And it kind of looked like Elon Musk designed the Mako from Mass Effect.
Hey,
so I guess I'm glad that happened.
You guys are really mixing specialties. He was like, hey, this thing goes into space, never runs into another object. It's the vacuum of space. Let's ram it into this weird hex.
It'll be fun.
That'll work.
Listen, this is a new Reed Richards
on
for MCU, okay? Old Reed Richards, yeah, he was smart. This is new Reed Richards, right? It's a different thing. This Reed Richards
throws everything at the wall.
Cool. But he's not.
This whole show is just people trying to jam things that aren't supposed to be in one place into another place.
Yeah,
Colton was so mad about that rover.
Oh, I hate that rover. I just don't understand.
I feel like if you'd have had one random not wizard or something, be like, I put a spell on it. That would
just say, hey, no, this
thing's real tough.
Has anti whatever on it. Yeah. We sprayed it down
something.
With magic Windex, and it can go through the bear. No, we just have this really good. This thing's real cool.
It's real tough. Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that shuttle wasn't made by like Dodge. Just get that product placement in.
Yeah. No, it was a Dodge Ram.
They offered. Nobody wanted to. Wanted to pay up.
Go out on a high note.
Yeah. But no, that was dumb. But I did, like you said, I did like her running in, and like that was a cool way to show
and
her powers.
I just would have appreciated, because last episode she's like, I meet my contacts, we have a plan to get in there, and I was like, oh, she's got this thought out, and then they just pulled a truck out, and I was like, what?
Not just any truck. That's
I was like, that's it? That's the big idea?
Darcy really held that team together. Yeah, so Darcy being there, that's cool.
Wait, so if going through this gives you superpowers, do they just like capture Wanda, make her set up a doorway, and just shove as many people as possible to just get an army of superheroes now?
Powered sword agents.
I mean, so I got to talk about that. Bring me back to that at the end.
Okay.
Because I think there's a purpose to give people superpowers or whatever this is. Because
they already got superpowers. They're clowns now.
They are.
Hey, one is a strong man.
That's true. He's a very weak strong man. He got punched by Kat Dennings.
Yeah.
And I guess with the whole rover thing and with Rambo, I guess the hex is different now, and it doesn't just suck things in. It's trying to actually stop things from entering now.
Well, I think the difference is she has that external barrier that wasn't there before, that red barrier.
And and Monica, using her spectrum powers, is able to phase a little bit. Yeah,
because that's what she's phasing through. She's phasing through that extra barrier, because once she gets through that, then she goes straight in through the other hex.
Oh, see, I didn't think she got her powers until she made it through, and she got through it through sheer determination, I guess, by being...
Her eyes turn blue while she's going through.
Okay.
So she's like, I'm trying, and then she powered up.
They finally unlocked the third time, I guess.
As everybody gets their superpowers, they just try. Like, they're like Saitama. They just try real hard, and they get the powers.
Like the conversation with Rambo and Wanda, which was interrupted by our villain. But I liked that, because Wanda's clearly conflicted, and I definitely think that she's being influenced.
Well, Wanda clearly knew like Hayward was doing something too, because she seemed to know exactly who he was and like what he was doing. Because I forget what her exact quote was something along the lines of like, I don't want to talk about that. Like, she knows like that he was doing something.
Well, and I don't think Wanda has her same judgment. I think just like anyone else being in the hex is influenced, I think she is too, because I don't think this is just of her making. I think she has some level of control. I think she is partly the power source of what's happening, but 100%. She's not the one doing this, is my new guess.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
does this make Agatha more powerful than Wanda, or is this just opportunistic? She's vulnerable, so now she can overpower.
I think the latter. I think that's why she's using Wanda, because Wanda is so powerful.
And so Wanda's powers are stronger typically when she's upset or angry. So I think that this is designed to essentially continually keep her in that state, and be kind of miserable. And yeah, so I think they're taking advantage of that.
What's her end game?
That was the last movie.
Okay, so anyways, Agatha's there. Agatha has the purple power. She has one of Doctor Strange's books. We saw all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And I know they're not technically his books, but
she's like a spell
from the
book.
movie Doctor Strange is more what I mean. Although he of course is supreme. So I think her end game is rather to get Nightmare or probably Mephisto out and feeding that guy. Did I freeze?
You froze for a minute, and then you were okay, and then now I think you're actually frozen.
And then
Now you're frozen but sad.
Yeah.
Frozen on the best possible.
But no, I mean, picking up what he was saying, that's kind of what I was thinking too, that she's doing whatever to harness this power to either bring Mephisto or to bring Nightmare or whoever.
There we go. My back, baby?
Yeah, you're back now. I think I picked up where you left off, that she was doing all of that to, feed/bring Mephisto or Nightmare.
And essentially all this energy that she may be harnessing, I don't know, off the sorrow or, whatever's going on with these people.
Off of all the grief.
Is either to feed him or as part of some ritual to bring him out, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Bring them out, Mephisto or Nightmare.
And I do think that the Mind Stone is part of this also. Because again, when they said, when they put up the hex, that Wanda was never this strong, and then they had the little stupid argument about it. But I think that writing was intentional to say that, this isn't just Wanda. Rather, she's amped by helping with the Mind Stone, or someone else is also adding some extra magic juice. And clearly these spells, like the other book that we saw in Doctor Strange, the book of Cagliostro, whatever was instructions bring Dormammu in. This is a different book, so maybe it's another entity that this book is kind of devoted to, rather be it Mephisto or Nightmare.
The book Castle of Cagliostro.
So speaking of that whole everyone knowing what happens in Infinity War and Endgame, did they have a TV miniseries or just a Wikipedia entry? Everyone knows what happened at that battle where none of these people were.
Yeah, I thought we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Unless they got some real
Darcy knows
footage.
Everything.
Or they just sat one Wakandan soldier down and he was like, I didn't fight, I just watched everything and just gave a play-by-play. And he was like, then this happened.
They got what's his name from Ant-Man.
Yes,
he would still be telling the story though. They wouldn't be done.
This one time, Thanos was fighting all the Avengers.
Yeah, I would watch that.
But yeah, the weird thing about this episode, there really wasn't. I mean, there's a couple, obviously obvious question marks, but this cleared a lot up and was very to the point, unlike previous episodes.
This episode felt really short to me. When it was over, I thought it was halfway through maybe, and then the credits were rolling, and I was like, "What?"
I didn't expect the credits to come then at all. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think. I mean, this was 7, I believe. Was it 7?
Yeah.
And I definitely think after 6 previous episodes of just what's this? What's this? Answer one question, but 3 more pop up. This is an episode that actually said, no, this is what's happening. This is who's doing it, which is appreciative because you can't flounder like this all the way till the end and then wrap it up. You need to start kind of.
Isn't there only 9?
Yeah, there's 2 more.
So they kind of have almost all the way to the end. It had to happen now. So yeah, it's a good thing.
100%. No, I wasn't saying that it was a bad thing that it wasn't like the rest. I'm just, just stating the fact.
I mean, there are still enough questions though.
Oh yeah.
Oh right. For example, do you guys think that the person keeping Vision away from Wanda right now is Wanda or Agatha? Because I think it's Agatha.
Oh, it's Agatha, 100%.
Yeah.
So
it seems that way.
Well, because also Wanda is losing control completely. I mean, she's not able to control much of anything at this point. I mean, everything she was doing was changing. The milk I thought was cute. All this stuff is switching between decades. So No, I don't
did like that she got that stork back though.
Yeah.
Stork is Mephisto.
Yeah.
God, not this again.
So they
And
didn't
who was
show
also
Vision
her
after
bad
he flew
therapist.
away.
The stork was the bad therapist. That's actually the root of all this.
They didn't show Vision after he flew away. So like, did she just summon like flocks of never-ending seagulls to keep getting in his way as he's flying?
Or
just
just
keep
like
running into
the
geese.
I really hope so. But yeah, no, and but if Agatha also has a level of influence of what's going on in the town, that would be useful information. And well, they showed her control the guy with the hedge clippers, so clearly she is.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I mean, that's probably been my favorite part of this whole series is Agatha all along, because not only is that an earworm of a song, but also Catherine Hahn is now just being the incredibly fun Catherine Hahn we know her as, which I was really, really enjoyable to see. Now that she's finally, revealed herself, I'm like, yeah, it's like Disney villain witch. I'm on board.
So here's the biggest question left about her not going into the okay, what's her end game? Why now?
Like, that's just opportunity.
Why reveal herself now, or why what? Now?
Yeah, what made this the opportune moment for that? In the context of everything else going on, other than Rambo is there.
Two things. Rambo is there being one, and other outside influences trying to go and get Wanda out of this. Other being my thought is the whole kids being gone thing.
I think they figured her out, because he had that line, because earlier when he was talking about Wanda, Billy, he's talking about how she's really loud, everyone's really loud, but then when he was with her, he's talking about how she's quiet, like he couldn't hear anything going on with her. So I think he kind of figured it out. So that kind of, I think, set her into motion of all right, they figured me out, she's starting to figure me out, like it's Monica's here, it's time to kind of make
the same way those kids just came into existence. I'm pretty sure they just are gone now, or they absorbed the energy from the powers of those kids, whatever, some sort of something sacrifice. I think those kids are gone. I mean, they were ghosts. I mean, their PB and J's were still there. Their cartoons were on, or not cartoons, or Yo Gabba Gabba, or whatever those.
Yeah,
kind of too old kids to watch. Anyways, it's weird. I think that now that the kids are gone, I mean, Wanda would be like, "Hey, where are my kids?" You know what I mean? So I think
can also
because she baited Wanda into that basement.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
they're playing in the basement.
I could also very much see it at this point, like she's just like, oh, I don't care if Wanda finds out because I've done what I needed to. Whatever ritual is now done, and I don't care who finds out. Like, it's already completed. Like,
that being
Mephisto's coming around no matter what, or,
Pietro being that person.
You're saying either Nightmare or Mephisto, whoever that person is.
Yeah.
I mean, that all makes sense.
His hair goes along with Mephisto. It's also Quicksilver, but Mephisto has the stupid, I'm a demon guy, so my hair is clearly going to be horns. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Yeah, I really hope that Doctor Strange does not show up and that it's Wong coming to get his book, because he cared about those books.
He does care about his books.
So I really hope that this is a Wong level threat. Wong's my boy. You came to the Wong neighborhood.
Jeez. I was gonna say, do you guys think that wherever that little room is, do you think that's in New Jersey, or do you think that's somewhere else?
You mean the basement?
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be in there. I think
New Jersey is the basement of the United States, so it's got to be.
So the only reason I ask that is because they've been playing with the letterbox and the full screen a lot. Every time they are in the hex, it is well, at least for the modern episodes, it is full screen. And when they go outside of the hex, it is letterbox. And when she went down into the basement, it switched from full screen to letterbox, which in the rest of the episode signified that you're outside of the hex.
And that would go along with Doctor Strange magnets.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There was some portal that she walked through that took her to wherever.
The sanctum. You can just all four. You can just walk into those doors. It could be the same kind of sanctum magic.
I was going to say, because I guess is that what those doors maybe do? Like, just take you wherever you want to go? because like I didn't really get a good look at it. I only watched it once, but like they had markings above them and all that.
Yeah, same thing.
Probably Old Sanctum converted to be an evil one now is what I think. But yeah,
and that was why I thought that, just because the way it was shifting like that. It's like, oh, is this somewhere else? Because clearly all the stuff she had in there for a ritual, she had all the cases full of bones and stuff.
Or she just dug it herself.
She just.
Kevin said,
I had noticed the letterbox stuff, but I hadn't put the pattern together on that yet.
The commercial I loved a lot for Nexus, the antidepressant that may also cause depression.
Because maybe the world doesn't revolve around you, or maybe it does.
I believe, because isn't Nexus in the Marvel universe, like you are the same person across all the multiverses?
That's a thing, but the Nexus we know in the MCU is the internet point where Tony pieced back together Jarvis, which he used to make Vision. That was where he's decrypting nuclear codes. That's that was the Nexus we've seen, and that's what I assume the reference was.
Well, because I believe also Wanda in the comics is a Nexus. Like, no matter what universe she's in, she is Wanda Maximoff, daughter of Magneto, all that.
It's very possible.
It could be a combination of both.
That's the other thing, though, about because I know we talked about this 2 streams ago when we first saw Pietro. Like, as far as Agatha getting him in there, did she pull that body that she's controlling from the X-Men universe, or is that just a tickle?
I think I'm starting to think more and more it's just a random body, and they purposely cast him to make us think it's Quicksilver, but it's just some random person.
Or if it's not a body, it is a person. That somebody in league with her, because I think in the comics she also does have a son, Nicholas Scratch. That's who the rabbit was named after, Mr. Scratchy.
Yeah.
So we assume that she may be alone, but she very well could have helpers.
It's Ralph.
That's true.
It's her husband Ralph, and
the bunny is Mephisto.
If there's no connection at all to the other universe, or they don't even, if it's really just, hey, look, it was that actor, that's very disappointing. To
just
me, at least,
some stunt casting.
I think someone said a couple times ago when we were talking about it, like it was just kind of for the viewer, like, look. And if it really is that, that's unfortunate. Chris wants to know what's the over under on Agatha being evil versus chaotic neutral.
In the comics, that's
a hell of a cackle.
In the comics,
it sounds evil to me.
Evil. Yeah. I'm gonna get my chat up.
Yeah, anybody that goes like usually isn't good. Like,
yeah, it sounded almost comically evil.
Agatha does exist also alongside like the Fantastic Four, and sometimes helps them. There's certain things I don't want to say if it's like,
I don't know. I mean, she killed a dog.
Yeah,
she stomped out a dog. I think
for movies and TV, that is the most evil thing you can do, is kill a dog. So,
and I killed Sparky too.
Yeah, and she was happy about it.
Yeah,
but
she's 100%.
100%.
She's evil. I think the question is whether or not she's working alone or she's working
at the very least chaotic neutral.
I think she's.
I like evil. That you just. The question is, do we think she's evil or chaotic neutral? Well, oh, she's definitely evil. Or at the very least, chaotic neutral.
I don't see her being good.
No,
she ain't
I don't
good.
think that I don't think they've given enough runway to make that happen.
No. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're going to Dragon Ball Z her later and just be like, listen, we need some more magic. I know you like stomped that dog the one time, but we're not sure the dog was real. So can you give us a hand?
I'm super okay with Catherine Hahn as Vegeta.
We're not, no, listen, we're just not sure. So we're able to justify this in our own head.
Even if she doesn't become a Vegeta, I just don't want her to die, because I'm tired of Marvel being like, here's a villain. Oh, they're dead now. You'll never see them again. And you have, like, the thing about Marvel is there's reoccurring villains. Like, just keep a couple of them around. Like,
if anyone can manage to get away like after her plot is foiled, I'm pretty confident she'll be able to like poof disappear.
I would think, but you know.
And
But
then
you never
we'll see
know
her
these
later
things. Gotta
floating
get those
with a hood
dead
on.
bodies.
Yeah. No, I'm still hooked on what's the story with the Infinity Stone. That's important to me because that's important to the entire MCU moving forward.
It's really interesting if it's a thing, but it's also really weird that even among people who understand that, like, it's really weird to me that he didn't question it if he got the story of how he died.
Yeah.
That would be a thing he would ask about.
How's this here? Yeah.
But why? With the what and the thing?
Yeah.
And she would probably say, I don't know.
Stop. Then what is this? Like,
it seems like people can only think like 60% of their capacity in there. Even with like Vision's like started doing some of the Jim Halpert scenes or whoever character from Modern Family. I haven't seen that show, but you know, he did the scoff and all that stuff. So I just associate it with Jim Halpert. And then he was like, "Wait, what am I doing? I'm out of here."
Yeah, it just flew away. I love they had a microphone on
it, but it's strange.
So when you say you want to know what the story with the stone is, you just mean is that because so far I know you said the yellow and the vision and stuff like that, but that none of that so far seems to me to be a compelling reason to believe somehow that it's the Infinity Stone.
What about him being outside of the barrier and it still being right there in his head?
But I don't know. All the rest of him was there too, but it was deteriorating.
Right.
So was that just the illusion? I don't know.
No, it very well could not be, but
it means a lot of weird things if it is.
Yeah, it does.
If it is, it's very bizarre, and it also because I expect to see Infinity Stones moving forward. Because that's not something. And again, if they just were like, "Listen, they're played out. We wanted to get rid of them," I am okay with that. I just don't expect them to, because
they're a big deal.
They're kind of the center of a lot of things and a lot of stories going forward, especially like Love and Thunder and Guardians.
I was gonna say, and even like movies and people that they have coming up, they're like a big part of a lot of the stories and storylines and people.
Sure. So I'm interested. Also, again, just. So, okay, so another thing I was thinking about, like, you guys remember when the Mind Stone existed in Avengers 1 and people were standing around it and just made everyone turn into babies? Not physical babies, but, like, emotionally, they were all just getting mad at each other for, like...
Yeah, babality.
Yeah, he didn't say, God bless you. I'm wondering if it were if the Mind Stone's back, if that's potentially why Wanda's acting wonky or everyone's acting wonky. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen there that I'm interested in, and if it is back, then what are you going to do with that thing? Or is Vision just going to be back? Don't know.
So what happened with them at the end of Endgame is Cap put them back where they borrowed them from, right?
Yeah, our universe has no Infinity Stones currently.
So when he went back and put back the Mind Stone, where did they take it from when they
Cap with America's ass, like where he was face down.
Oh, so that was where the Mind Stone came from when Cap. It was in
a scepter at that point.
America's ass.
Okay.
That's why you made it seem.
I felt okay.
But no, Loki's scepter. That's where he took it from.
So in theory, it just went back.
Except he didn't have a scepter, so I assume he just dropped it there.
Wait, no, they didn't take that one, right? Didn't they fail to take that one?
They failed to take the Tesseract from there.
And then they went back.
So then they had to go further back to get. Oh, right.
Back to go get the Tesseract and get more Pym particles.
Yeah, Ant-Man returned with the Mind Stone safely, and then Cap and Iron Man went to go get the Space Stone. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just with everything with the movies coming up, and I'm just it's juicy. And I like me some Infinity Stones. I think they're fun, and I think you can do fun things with different characters with different stones. Excuse me.
And then Colton, you want to go back to what we were talking about earlier about people becoming mutants. I think
the rover. He wanted to go back to the rover.
Hex doorway.
If whatever entity, and again, this is a what if of a what if whatever entity feeds off of like psychic energy or whatever's going on here could also benefit from other people having powers and feeding off that as well. Maybe they made this like little home of a bunch of people who are going to be transformed into superpowers to then be absorbed by whatever evil entity is there. Maybe, because if everybody is in there's DNA's changed and they all have that potential, that might be a thing.
I don't think it's going to be everyone that's in there's DNA change. I think she was going to be a special, either she was special or because she's gone through it 3 times, whereas everyone else only went through it once.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I still think with, I don't know, like how House of M ended with getting rid of 90% of mutants. I think this is a good way to have our only one mutant character be a jump off point to start to introduce them. That's going to be very strange for characters like Wolverine, because haven't you been around forever?
And that's the thing. I know we were talking about this before, because like, that would be the weird thing is it would change the backstory of a lot of those characters. Like Magneto, still could have been at Auschwitz and everything, but he wouldn't have had powers then. He'd be getting powers now in 2027. Where are we at? Wherever they are now.
Yeah.
As like an 80-year-old man. So it would change the backstories of a lot of characters, which could kind of be cool, but also, yeah, I feel like that's kind of what makes X-Men.
Or you change it to where like all these characters are young and getting their powers now, and you just completely throw out any sort of backstory they had previously, and that way you can cast, a 30-year-old actor to star in 10 movies going forward over the next 15 years to set up your new X-Men, that kind of thing.
Yeah, or
you can just bring back Hugh Jackman.
Either way, just
always
bring back Hugh Jackman.
Might as well.
Even if you recast everyone else, even if he's a different person, just bring Hugh Jackman back.
I don't even want mutants to like show up in this universe. Like have them in their own. Like clearly there are multiverses. Just let them do their own and then have a crossover, I guess, 6-part movie series or whatever. However money you want to print.
You can set up an Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah. But there's no reason to like explain like, well, where's Magneto been? Just like he's just doing his own thing in a different universe.
It makes a lot more sense for the mutants to exist like on a different version of Earth. That makes
but let me throw this out there. Money.
Yeah.
But this is what he just said.
Yeah, X-Men. Well, X-Men doing their own thing would bring in a lot of money, but like you start throwing X-Men with all the iconic Marvel people that we have going on now, and then you're just printing money. Because that's the thing everybody's wanted since the beginning. Like they wanted all their they wanted their comic book in live action form, every Marvel hero on the screen at one time.
All the toys, not just half the toys, all the toys.
Yeah, I want all the toys on the screen at the same time. And if they do that, then look what Infinity War Endgame did. It just it was incredibly successful, and they're good films, but I feel like they're just going to keep aiming to do that and building, hey, more and more heroes are part of this Marvel extended universe we got going on. And I think it's hard to keep them part of that universe, obviously, if they're literally separated by like a multiverse layer.
If you just want to do a 3-hour Marvel Too Many Cooks, I'll watch it. Like I'm not saying I won't watch it.
I'll watch it, but I feel like they're just going to try to find a way to shove some people in there.
I have some pretty strong faith in Marvel at this point.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I trust Kevin Feige out there. Although he could be too busy putting out fires with like Venom about to be involved with the MCU, so he's probably trying to.
What?
Venom is in the MCU.
You'll see.
Oh no!
I'm waiting for my boo.
Can someone please save this video for like a year or two from now? I'm talking about what's about to happen, especially with Morbius and Venom, because they're going to be dipping their toes in our MCU. They're going to be putting their McDonald's French fries near my steak, and cold McDonald's French fries.
I was gonna say, I feel like those are like Sonic French fries or something.
That's right. They're doing a Morbius movie, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out like last May. But,
I forgot the Morbius movie was. I haven't thought of that in a year until you just.
And did you remember that Vulture's going to be in it?
Mm-hmm.
From Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I honestly haven't thought about Morbius since I watched.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying y'all got to trust me when I say these things. I know, like that. So they got to make the multiverse semi ridiculous to be able to explain that kind of stuff away.
So the Marvel plus X-Men plus Venom crossover is going to be when they finally make Sinister Six happen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be the Sinister Six.
Well,
and you're just pulling from 4 different multiverses for them.
I assume Spider-Man 3 will touch kind of every universe probably. Yeah.
I mean, is that going to be Tom Hardy playing Nick Cage playing Venom? Because I'll watch Tom Hardy pretend to be Nick Cage again. I'll do it. He's weird enough. I'm on board. I might regret it.
Don't forget, what's his face is Carnage.
Oh yeah,
Woody Harrelson.
Can't forget, there's gonna be Carnage.
There will be
Carnage.
Hey, do you get it?
Carnage.
Do you get it?
You get it? His hair's red.
So we like some sort of Suicide Squad, huh?
Get it? His hair's red.
And his hair's red, and he said Carnage.
If they if they did do a multiverse thing, and because we don't need origin stories ever again for the majority of these characters. So if they pulled in the X-Men from an Earth 2 or whatever Marvel calls Earth 2 or whatever, it'd be nice to just be like, oh, there's Cyclops, there's Gambit. Yeah. We know them. We don't need you to tell us about them.
He shoots eye beams. Yep.
Right.
What else do you need to know?
They're mutants. There you go. Yeah. It's kind of the way they introduced Wanda and Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. He's quick and she's weird. There you go. That was the end. And then you were fine with it. It made sense.
What if this was actually an abandoned town with nobody in it, and all of the people in the town were pulled from other universes?
That's cool. I like it.
Pretty cool.
I mean, I feel like that would have to be Agatha doing that if that was the case. Because I don't think Wanda can just rip people through realities.
Well, so that actually raises a question. At the end, she says, "You didn't think I was the only magical girl in town." Was she already here when she set up the hex?
Yes,
I think who did hex.
If so, I think okay. I think Agatha's been around for a long time. Like she has her normal comic book origin, like it was in the Salem witch trial days and all that good stuff. Sure. I think she is influencing Wanda, who has rather more power for her to be able to use, or Wanda plus Mind Stone. Again, I'm going to keep talking about that Mind Stone to get the Nexus going to accomplish whatever her goal is. I just thought of the whole multiverse pocket thing just to bring people in. I don't know why she'd be doing that, but I like it.
I like it a lot.
As far as kids just appearing out of nowhere, instead of kids just, we took them from South Carolina. No, I just from another multiverse, and now they're here, and they're going to need to be the children at the home institute for mutant kids. I forget the acronym.
The way I kind of figured it was that essentially, Wanda grabs Vision, goes to Jersey, sets up her original bubble to be like, I'm living my idyllic life. And then I don't know why one popped up on anybody else's radar, but like Agatha sees it and she's like, oh, there's something big going on over here. Pops her head in, was like, oh, I could use this. And then starts working, the wheels behind the scenes too. So I think like maybe the initial setup was, Wanda's creation, but she's just taking it and just twisting it for her own purpose.
So when she had her
actually going back to my bad therapy,
looked like she landed.
It's bad therapy. Like Agatha was Wanda's therapist, and she had the bunny in the room to kind of calm things down. And she was like, "Hey, what if? Just saying, I know this is therapy, but you kind of have superpowers. What if you just go get Vision out of there and just bring him back? Can't you do that?" And Wanda's like, "Great advice." That's the therapy.
If any part of your therapy theory becomes true.
No, wait, sorry. When you're talking about the kids coming, you're saying that you think that she's just either A, pulling the kids out of a multiverse pocket, or B, she pulled them from other areas? Because I always thought it was just like Vision's like, there's no kids, and it's because they're just frozen in their homes because I didn't think about kids, so I just left them there in their house. And then when Vision complained, she's like, oh, I need to activate these kids. And then like the kids, started moving around like, the rest of the
like Pietro said for the holiday episode.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas before they were like the people on the edge of town where they were just stuck and like doing nothing.
It's possible. I think what Pietro said about the kids, because he was like, where'd these kids come from? Even he was asking as if they came from somewhere else in the holidays.
I mean, it could be anything.
But yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm ready for the next 2. I wish they were longer, like I thought they were. Steven, no, I'm kidding. That was both.
Look, I even said I can't find a credible place saying.
Yeah, I know.
That threw me too, because I remember someone saying, "Oh yeah, the influencer." So are none of them going to be longer?
I think the last 2 are going to be a little longer, but it's not like hour plus. I think it's like 50 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Feige did say, and that you can find all these shows are going to be between 4 to 6 hours. And I think what he said was some of them are going to be might be 8 episodes of half hour or like 6 episodes of 45 to an hour.
Because Falcon Winter Soldier is like 45
I think
minutes.
It's 45. Yeah, it's like 45-minute shows, and it's only 6 episodes as opposed to 9.
Also, my slight beef is if a show is going to do end or mid credits, and of course it's Marvel, so we've come to expect that, but the first 6 episodes have nothing in the credits. So at this point, when the credits pop up, I turn the show off. And so there are probably a lot of people that were just like mid-credit sequence, and then they're like, wait, what? What now? Like, it happens to me with anime all the time. Like some animes will put pretty crucial things leading up to the next episode at the end of the credits where I will never see them. And with this show, if I just didn't have other things to do while the credits were going, I would have completely missed that.
Yeah, me too. I just happened to have left it on, and I was like, I wonder if I missed any other ones.
I have the exact opposite thing, in that Marvel has broken me as a human being.
So
and I have
you must watch the entire credits now?
Every single episode I already have.
And with Marvel,
the first 3 episodes, I was like, oh, there's nothing. Okay, so they're just not doing that for the show. Okay, boop, and I turn it off every episode.
Anytime I'm in the theater with my dad, he gives me a elbow and he's like, hey, Google, are there end credits? And I Google it and he's like, nope, all right, let's bounce.
Yeah.
Somebody at Marvel was like, yeah, we got everyone to look at the people responsible for the show. Like, guys, I'm not paying attention to the names.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone until I hear the credit music.
Yeah. I turned my phone back on. I'm looking at text messages.
Who was best grip?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I realize that at movies I pay lots of attention to the names because sometimes they're funny.
Wait, you're telling me that these were filmed in Georgia? That's a shocker.
Everything's in Georgia.
There's always at least one person whose name is just like somehow an adjective and a noun that go together.
Yeah, it's like
and they jump
spicy hot cake. He was the one responsible for for one of the craft services being distributed.
There was
Craft Services was one of the names too. Craft Services must have been really important because I noticed Craft Services' name was bigger than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to them sandwiches.
Shout out to Courtney, Kevin, and Chris for watching this.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was going to say,
to Colton for not berating our viewers.
Oh, yeah. Don't remind him.
I was going to say, speaking of that end credit scene, what do you guys think it means that her eyes are purple at the end? Do you think she was taken over, or do you think that was her spectrum powers?
I think those are spectrum powers.
Okay, because it looked a little different, a shade of purple than like when Wanda got taken over. Like,
wait, what?
Her eyes were purple?
Oh, sorry, no. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if that was her like looking in and seeing like the roots and doing whatever she was doing, or if that was Pietro, Mephisto, whatever you want to call him, taking her over with his little Snooper's gonna snoop comment.
I think that was more so like her being exposed to this new energy and her body kind of like
that was what I took it as
like,
too.
all right, what is this? And kind of
clearly she's going to have like some kind of Captain Marvel light powers, but I really wanted to just be like, I can see magnetic fields, and like everyone's like, okay, well that's not helping us.
She definitely seemed like she could sense energy and potentially also magic energy.
So. superpowers, I have predator vision. And it's like,
cool.
Instead of Cerebro, we're gonna get her, and she's just gonna walk around and see where there's mutants are. It's gonna take a long time.
And
sorry, I can't fly, so I just have to walk from person to person.
And very
take a while.
Just point to which one is a mutant. Just that one. Like,
Falcon's just gonna fly around with her, just holding her, just like, all right, tell me where.
There's one. And violate their privacy. Get them.
I also will say that, I do like probably the biggest laugh I've gotten out of this show, and I don't know if this is just me being stupid, but probably Catherine Hahn's delivery of "I've been a child before." That got me good. Yeah. Like I actually that got a good chuckle out of me. And also just the way that she just gymmed the camera when like the kids are talking about. They mentioned something about their mom, and she just like I don't know what to do with that. Like,
yeah.
Nope, she's a national treasure.
Yeah, and now that she's like just off the chain, I'm like, all right, I'm even more into this show now.
Even like when she was under, like her hair was like all disheveled, and like she had she was just I was like, this is perfect. And perfect role for you.
Literally came in flying on a broom. I was like, oh, okay, we're going like full witch with it. I mean, I haven't read any of the comics, so I can't say for sure, but
I liked her sitting on the lawn drinking while she created Pietro, just having a little picnic,
Yeah.
How Wanda didn't see her clearly in the background is fine,
Yeah, it's all right. Those sword agents in the background didn't see Rambo and Darcy and Wu in that fight.
Yeah.
It was raining, okay?
Yeah, it was right. It's fine. Nobody radioed for anything. Yeah.
I could see them though. I could see them very well.
Yeah. Got an issue with Wanda saying like, I tried everything to fix this. Like, you literally tried nothing to fix this.
They should try. Next time, they should try 2 rovers. I don't know if they've tried 2 rovers to get in there though.
Because one acting as the vanguard and the other one to push it through.
I was about to say they need to be behind. Yes.
And then when the one flips up, you just recenter and then just push it through like that.
And listen, they should probably paint one red just to see if that might help.
It can't get colors mess it up.
Yes.
Yeah. Same color. It'll do.
Yeah.
It's like
really
the ball and drop
the
shot.
rover started driving. That they didn't just start playing Hex, go and give it to you. Like, that's a real missed opportunity. It was right there for you guys.
I hope that's like how we just got that one at the end of this episode. That's this like the series finale. It's just Hex giving it to you.
This is actually how they're going to introduce Deadpool. He's going to fall out of the sky.
I mean,
going to cause a ruckus.
That wouldn't be surprising.
He's coming to the MCU.
Or Deadpool reveals himself, and then there will be like an Agatha all along little montage with a song, but it'll just be Deadpool all along.
Deadpool doing the exact same stuff.
Yeah.
That all right.
I won.
Listen, Deadpool's little device was very similar to the Avengers' little device to go through time. So you know what? They're just going to bump into each other.
So he killed Ryan Reynolds with it. So clearly it can jump between dimensions.
Between universes.
Yeah.
Well, I have to go, guys, but I can absolutely like leave this on and just take myself out of it if someone just wants to like shoot me a text or something when you're done, so I can shut it down.
I also must be going.
No, I think I've said everything wrapped up.
Yeah, I think we should shut down.
Trying to be comedians at this point.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I got all my stupid.
Somebody uttered the secret word.
The secret word is being Danny Tamborelli.
Jesus. We figured it out, Ed.
Cool. All right, y'all. We got Wanda.
Or they got Wanda, so we could get Wanda.
We got Jason. We got Samantha. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh yeah.
Shouts out.
Yep.
Make sure to destroy that bell, everyone.
And just in case you wanted to watch it some more.
If you want to.
Gully, me and you are leaving for the same reason. Is your D&D on Monday night?
D&D time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, skaters.
I'm sorry about the bell, but it'll be all right.
Roll 20s.
Later, guys.
Sorry for watching. Please like and subscribe to watch it some more.